No, the camera is going to play silly games with me, I'm afraid. I cannot actually get it to zoom in now, but hopefully that's not too bad. Oh dear. Don't you just hate it when things like this happen? At least you can see what I'm doing, but you won't be able to see closely what I'm doing anymore now. So, sorry about that. Hopefully now we're going to remember to do is to actually make it so that you can still see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing here now is I'm opening some rings and closing others. I'm doing I'm going to be doing just a simple 2 in 2 chain, which is just 2 links linked together in a simple chain, and so no particularly complex weaving going on today, or this afternoon at the moment with this. So I'm using just some machine cut rings here as opposed to saw cut rings, which means they've got a slight nick in them basically. But my wife decided she'd like to have just this particular colour and this particular ring size. So we just happened to be in a shop which sold some rings, so that's what she saw, that's what she wanted. So I'm just assembling them together. They should go together fairly quickly. It's not a complex weave. In fact, we might as well start and do so. Actually, I want 4 closed rings on there. Spring trap the baby bunny. Possibly, yes, I'm not sure. But thank you for watching. That is kind of you. Now put those 2 through there. Yeah. For a minute then I thought I'd done that wrong. Actually, I possibly still... No, there we go. Ah dear, thought I might have done that wrong for the minute. But there we go. So this is it's about this, well, apart from it, unless you use a 1-in-1, this is about the simplest weave that can be done. Which of course decides it's going to be awkward. Alright, hold it like that then. So very simple 2 in 2 weave made out of gold plated chain. And already I've gone through the few rings that I've prepared, so we'll be opening and closing some more in a moment. With the shadow weave just go together really quickly. Not that I've done a lot of this. I've done exactly 3 pieces before in my life. but I enjoyed it so much I want to do more. So I'm going to need a fair few of these closing, so we'll just the nature of the way the rings are made means that they don't line up with each other, which they need to do to stop them coming apart. So that's the action of closing rings. Opening them means widening the gap so that it's wide enough for rings to pass through, so I can insert them onto the chain as you saw me doing. Now this particular weave, I can close some rings first and open others, which I understand is called speed weaving, because it means that you don't actually have to open and close individual rings as you do them one at a time. Prepare them in advance. So I'm just starting to learn some of the terms of this particular craft. So if you're expecting armory based chainmail, I'm sorry to disappoint you. That's not what I'm doing here. This is jewellery based chainmail. This is intended to be an anklet chain. And it's being fairly open. I guess it's going to be sort of relatively delicate but relatively bulky, if that makes sense. As you can see, it sort of bulks out a fair bit, but with it being very fine wire, or relatively fine wire that's being used in the chains, it doesn't look like a bulky chain. It just covers a lot of space. Oops, I've just realised I've got a very old message on the top which isn't appropriate at all. It's already been her birthday. That was from when I was making a necklace and a bracelet before her birthday, and I had to be very careful not to say anything about what I was making whilst I was making it, giving any clues away, because they were supposed to be for presents, which when she got them for her birthday she was extremely pleased with. She liked them very much, and she got them whilst we were on holiday, and she wore them every day for the rest of the holiday. So they were very well received. Okay, let's do a little bit more of the chain. little bit wrong. Usually when I'm broadcasting, at the moment broadcasting carving. I'm carving a dragon in relief carving, but that will be done later this evening. This is just an ad hoc Saturday afternoon, maybe even tomorrow afternoon stream, and taking the opportunity to do a different craft, just for a bit of variety. As I say, as I enjoyed making the chainmail jewellery so much, then I am continuing to do it. And again, we're out of rings, so sometimes I need patience for this, when it won't just quite go where you want it to go. Here we go. So if anybody who's watching does have any questions about what I'm doing, I may not be able to answer, but I'll try. I say I may not because this is a new art form to me, making jewellery and doing it with chainmail. But I also, as I mentioned, do broadcast carving. I broadcast a number of other art forms as well. So there's carving, pyrography, which is making pictures using heat. Scraper board, which is making pictures by scraping black ink off the top of a porcelain clay based coated board. I also do punchcraft, which is kind of like a mini rug making. Punch holes in a piece of fabric, forcing thread through them to create a loop, which creates an image. And yeah, that's about the 4 that's been broadcast so far, although I have also on stream created a model helicopter. as something different to do. But in terms of other crafts, I do a lot of other things which are just not on stream at the moment because I don't have the space for it. So I've got some fusible beads, for example, to at the other side of the studio here, in order to make some pictures at some point. I also do airbrushing. I do high-speed rotary carving. I also do glass engraving, or surface glass engraving rather than deep engraving. There is differences. I make rugs with a couple of different methods, using latch hooks and using a punch method. And I also do various sewing techniques such as needlepoint, tapestry, cross stitch beading, and maybe we'll get into some of those at some point in the future on the stream, but we'll see how it goes. They tend to be a fairly slow art form, so it may not be particularly interesting for people. Although, having said which, carving takes quite a long time, so we do that one on stream, so maybe we'll see how people would like, or see what people would like to see. Okay, let's do a little bit more on the chain. I have no idea how many rings I'm going to need for this. I didn't prepare any in advance. This chain wants to be 11, well, it wants to end up being 11 inches long. That includes the clasp. So we're probably going to need to make it about 10.5 inches. So that when the clasp is attached, it comes out at 11 inches, although my wife, I think, wants a T-bar clasp, so we may make it 11 inches anyway. So that there's enough space to feed the tea through the bar through before, so that it's not tight when you're trying to do that. I'm making the same mistake I did last time, and that was to put the rings right underneath where the chain is going to drop down, and so I'll end up knocking them all over the desk. This is quite easy. One of these things I may have to do is try this with sterling silver. Right, we're coming again to the end of the number of rings I've got prepared. That's weird. Odd number in both cases. So we'll just put one on. We need to open another ring in order to complete this. Just follow it down there a second and open another one. And there we've got a long, see how long that is. Yeah, where's it? That's the end there. Okay, 7 3/4 inches so far. So a bit more to do. That's a closed ring. I wonder. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. I am just wondering if you would get a better view of what I'm doing if I just change the angles a little bit. Well, it would be better if I could zoom in, but rather than looking straight down on what I'm doing, just wondering if it would look a bit better to anybody that's watching, just with the camera where it is now, so you're looking at a slight angle to what I'm doing. Sort of like at the same angle that I'm looking at it, but from the other side of the desk. Okay. Fortunately, it's a little bit of a boring thing to watch, I suspect, on stream, is watching somebody close and open jump rings. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, it's a necessary part of the art form, is to need to do this. Okay, let me take a drink of coffee. Let's do a few more with what we've got there. Done it again, and I've got these rings right in the way of the chain. Right, so, oops, I've not closed properly. That is. I keep having to remind myself I'm putting 2 rings through here, otherwise I'll end up with just one connecting ring, but easy enough thing to correct afterwards. This is a very simple 2 in 2 weave, 2 rings. I suppose actually technically it's a 4 in 2, in that there's 4 rings in every 2 rings, but I tend to, well, I am calling it just a 2 in 2, which is probably, as I say, inaccurate. It's a 4 in 2. These are gold plate rings rather than aluminium, anodized aluminium, which is what I've used previously when I made a bracelet and a necklace. My wife just happened to like the look of this particular colour of these gold rings and this particular size and thickness of chains. So since this is for my wife, then if that's what she wants, that's what she gets. Not particularly keen on gold plate normally for this, because, or for jewellery, because it does, on some people it can wear off fairly quickly, can the gold plate. It's which actually generally can do that on my wife in within a couple of days. Sometimes she can wear gold plate off of off jewellery, and yet other people can keep it for years without a problem. Something to do with skin moisture, I understand. Right, let's see how long that is. That's the end. Okay. Well, it needs to be an 11-inch chain. When sort of closed, shall we say, but there needs to be then a toggle clasp going into that now, so that means it has to be a little bit longer than it normally would be. The toggle clasp I'm using in this particular case is one of these. So these add about ½ an inch to the length of the chain. So in practice, this if I now put the toggle onto this, it would be the right length. But what I'm just going to do is add probably another couple of rings, just to give enough slack in order for the bar to go through the toggle. So let's open a couple more, close a couple, just to add a little bit extra length, and then I want a couple of extra rings to use to fasten on both the toggle and the bar. They're too close, yeah, and I want two open. Okay, so So that should now be approximately 11 inches long. It is. So what I'm going to do now is just put a single ring on the end and put the toggle onto it, because actually I probably could get, in that case, let's just open this. I looked at this and thought I can't actually get two rings through the toggle, but it looks like I can. So what I'm going to do is just try that. So that's that one, and the other one's here. So we'll open that and get it the right way, just through there like that. Now that has gone on really easily. So two rings through there, that's not a problem. So the bar at the other end is going to get this may turn out to be a little bit long, we'll see. The nice thing though about this is I can, since I'm the person that made it, I can fairly easily adjust the length if necessary. So that's the bar there. Got to get this ring through the right way, which is that way. Come on. Just feed this through and make sure I don't cross the rings over. A little bit like Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams. Right. King of Sloth, is it gold? It's gold plate, is this? Not gold. Gold would be horrendously expensive, or relatively expensive, I guess. You'd be approaching £100 worth of gold for a chain this length quite easily, if it was solid 9 carat gold. Solid 9 carat gold. 9 carat gold isn't solid, but you know what I mean. It's not pure gold anyway. There we go. An 11.5 inch chain is that. You could do this using rolled gold or filled gold, which is thicker. This is just gold plate, which some people wear off really quickly, other people can wear for years. There we go, one chain complete. Now then, what time is it? 20 past. Okay, I'm going to try doing another chain now, but in a different weave, I think. So let's just put these gold rings to one side. Yeah, don't actually have a box to put them in, so I'll put them in this case with my other rings. Not the easiest of things to pick up when you want to pick up a lot of them. In fact, I'm not. Why do that silly thing? I ought to have some sort of scoop or something, I think, really, to do this. No. Okay, that's those away. Safe so they don't go all over the floor. Now then, the next bracelet is a Byzantine bracelet with a particular colour pattern that wants to be used. So, sorry about that, I just knocked the microphone with my arm. So I want some silver there. I want some orange, which is there, and some sky blue. So let's just open these packets. Come on. Sky blue. Never knew aluminium was affected by static electricity, but I guess since it's a conductor it must be. And silver. I'm often asked when I'm crafting on stream whether I need patience, or how come I have so much patience to do things, and generally speaking I don't consider that you actually need patience to do much at all. of the crafts that I do. But it's things like trying to get these rings to come out of this packet here, which is when I need patience, and that's about the only time I actually need patience, is getting them to do what I want them to do, which is come out the back. And I can feel my adrenaline going up to the point where I just want to throw this thing somewhere. Ring, you are coming out of that packet whether you like it or not. There we go. Right. So, now then. For this I've been asked for a particular... This is going to be a Byzantine bracelet, very similar to this one. Well, similar in design to this one, shall we say. If I throw the autofocus on, I can't zoom in, I'm afraid. The camera's playing up today. I probably need to restart OBS, but come on. Come on, camera, focus on me. Alright. There you go. This is a Byzantine chain. So this is the pattern that we're going to be, or the weaver as it's called, that we're going to be working to. But we're actually going to be using a different colour and different colours and different colour sequence. This, surprisingly, this is lilac and yellow. But surprisingly on stream, and it's this camera that's doing it, this Logitech cameras, they are insensitive to red. It kind of looks like silver and gold does this, but it's a lovely yellow and lavender colour. But anyway, so we've got one of those. That's what we're working to. I'll turn the autofocus off now. And then we shall start and open and close rings again, I'm afraid. Now these are both smaller and thicker rings than where's my other pliers that I was just doing a moment ago. These are aluminium, the others were probably, I suspect, copper coated with gold plate. I need both open and closed rings for working in a Byzantine. Now, in that chain you've just seen, what they call the connecting links were a different colour. For this particular bracelet, I've been asked to make them the same colour as the Byzantine sections, and we're actually going to do all three colours across the width of the bracelet. Okay. Two. So close some of the rings, open the others, Could do this at the time of weaving, but it's actually quicker to do it now, and it speeds the weaving part up as well, which is why it actually gets the term called speed weaving, is when the rings are already prepared, both open and closed, depending on what you actually need. Don't know exactly how many sections of this. I'll count them in a second. One. Never understand how these rings manage to always fasten themselves together. You can guarantee when you don't want them to, they will. Three. Four. Let's just see how many sections I need for this first section of colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 6. Byzantine is made in sort of blocks. I need 6 blocks to start with. I've got enough rings here for 3. One. That one tried to make an escape. 2. 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, one more ring open for this first block of colour. And then I want 3 times 4 is 3 fours are 12, so I want 12 more rings closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll just close these 12. What I'm doing in closing them is making sure that I fully align the edges of the cut in the ring, so it's nice and smooth. You don't feel the you won't feel the join between the two. That saves it sort of just scratching you occasionally on your skin if you're wearing this, but it also means that the rings don't catch on one another, and potentially over time open themselves up. Take a fair bit of doing because it's there's a they're quite strong rings. It takes a reasonable amount of force to open and close them. That's better. You see, they're quite awkward to separate, but it's amazing how they, when they're in a bag or a packet, or just loose in the box, how easily it is that they get themselves joined together. Right, so let's start a Byzantine weave. We switch players, so we start with 4 closed rings. And we feed another one through all 4. Come on. That one escaped. Let's see if I can pick that up. If I can see where it went. Nope, that one made a successful bid for freedom. So we'll just grab another one. Right, let's have a look. That's the centre. That's the centre ring there. Another one made a bid for freedom. You would think you'd be able to see these really easily on the floor. There it is. But it's really amazing how easily they hide. Okay, well that's 2. Three. 4, there we go. Now then. That's right, so fold those 2 down there like that. And get hold of them. Come on. It's always fiddly to start. Once you start it, it gets a lot easier. Come along then. That's it. There, those 2 there. Yeah, all right. Tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just put a single ring on the bottom of these 2 here, just to keep them together and tell me which ends is which. Okay, then I take another ring, feed it through there. Like that. That's right. I'm now trying to remember how to do a Byzantine weave. For the life of me then I'm just got myself stuck. I think what I'll do is I will close this ring. And we'll feed a second ring. That's not closed properly. It's easier to see what's going on when you're using a different colour for the intermediate joining sections. Come along, there we go. So that's the first Byzantine block. It'll get a bit easier as we do more of them. The chain sort of then will start to hold itself in place. So I now want a single ring, 2 closed rings. We close this off. That's not closed properly. That is. Feed. Yep, that's got it I think. Feed another one through there because it's all based on 2 rings at a time. Fold them back, split them apart and lift the centre ones. That was silly. I ended up with just a single ring there when I actually wanted 2, so I'll take one of these open rings and just feed it through. In fact, I'll open that ring that I've just put on. Come on, I want you to go through 2, that's it, and I'll put another 2 rings on this one. This ring I now need to open up in order to feed it through the 2 rings that I've just put on. So those 2 there have to go in through this ring. It's really just a case of keep doing this until we finish. that ring isn't closed properly. Frustration. Now, where was that ring I was trying to close? That one there. That's better. Of all the crafts that I do, I think this one potentially is the most patience requiring craft. But I enjoy doing it. Okay, so we're now into the next Byzantine section. So that, and 2 closed rings. And unfortunately I miscounted the number of closed rings that I wanted, so I opened rings, forgetting how many they get, how they get used, I guess, and so I just have to open some more. I use them in pairs, so there's 6 rings to a Byzantine block, but what I did was open 2 of the 6 and close 4 of the 6. In actual fact, it's the wrong way. I need kind of half and half. But that detail escaped me when I was opening these up not so long ago. It's how I need an odd number, so let's have one more. Eddie Fall Guy, good afternoon. Welcome to the studio this afternoon. I made a 2 in 2, or a 4 in 2, I suppose. But my wife decided she wanted some gold plate, so we just happened to be in a craft shop where they had some gold plate rings. It's gonna be fun to see how often, how quickly they, or how long these last. It's not focusing very well, but my camera's playing up today. But you know what a 4 in 2 looks like, so let's put that back there. So I'm also now making up a Byzantine chain, but in not all in one colour, but in blocks of colour. And I am needing lots of patience today for some reason. Everything is deciding that it's not going to go where I want it to go. And it is making my adrenaline go up. Yeah, 2 in 2 or 4 in 2, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. Because there's 4 rings in every 2, but 2 in 2. Yeah, I don't actually know the correct nomenclature. Hey, that's a big long word for a Saturday afternoon. There we go. So this is a Byzantine, which is going to have 3 colours in it, in blocks, meant to represent the Greek cat's eye style of jewellery. Which is white with blue in the centre. Ah dear. I'm just thinking, if you've ever had a bad day at work, you probably don't want to be doing this. I've already had 2 rings escape on me this afternoon, Eddie. What does that want to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've been given quite specific instructions for how long the sections want to be. So I think there's another section of Byzantine another Byzantine section in this colour, and then we switch to a different colour. We switch to blue and then silver and then back to blue. Hello Carl, good afternoon, welcome to the studio this afternoon. Sorry I was a little bit away with the fairies there. Nice to see you again. It's a bit of a quiet day, I'm afraid. There's doesn't seem to be a lot of people around today. Either or just they're all avoiding me, which is entirely possible. Don't quite know why they'd want to do that, but you never know. There we go, that's on there. Maybe I should get my needle nose pliers out, which is what I was doing this with before. I think that was the last section. Yes, it is. So now we want 2 sections of blue, then 1 section of silver. Close some of these. Let's switch. No, it's these are gold plated ones. So they're not unlikely to be any better. I do fully intend to get some better ones though. But this is an anklet, or the 2 in 2 was an anklet, so it might react differently, different part of the body. So we'll see how those go. But I'll show you the clasp, AD. That was a gold-plated clasp. It doesn't show up very well here, but it's now got a really rose copper gold colour. Is that as opposed to the gold? Holocaust. No, it's well. Is this the same jewelry? This is the same jewelry. This piece here that you might have seen. Well, you saw the last time. That was for my wife's birthday. This is her chain, which she was extremely pleased with. Wore it every day after her birthday for most of the holiday. This particular piece here is a brand new one. It's just a simple 2 in 2 chain with gold plate, which is going to be fun. As I mentioned, my wife tends to eat gold plate. Something about her skin, moisture on the skin, which dissolves gold. So we'll still see how long this one lasts. But it's as I say, it's an anklet, so she's never worn an anklet before. So she's going to see whether she actually likes it or not. So the gold plate's fine for that. We were just out in a craft shop today, AD, and she looked at those and went, I want that colour and I want that ring, and so I've got a packet. Got all these lovely colours of anodised aluminium, and she wanted she wanted a different one. No, I don't know. My brain's not working today. I was trying to add up how many rings I need for this section, but I'll just weave it and see. Of course I remember you, AD. Dear. She did spend a lot of time looking at your Facebook page, and anybody who's watching, by the way, AD Fall Guy. Also I can say also now, makes chainmail jewellery. She makes some really nice pieces. He also broadcasts doing it, so I recommend you check him out. Check out his well, if you go to his channel and take a look, he's got there, I think, information on his and you can post it if you want, Adi, your Facebook page, and I believe you've got an Etsy shop as well. So yeah, guys, if anybody who's watching, check out Adi's Facebook page, Facebook, which has got all pictures of all his designs on there. Right. 4. One of these days I'll work out an easier way of doing that. So that's one section. Yeah, it's skin chemistry, as you say, is weird. I mean, in theory, there's only one acid which dissolves gold. It's aqua regis, and it's quite a powerful acid. Which, you know, big for some people, my wife included. Gold plate especially, but even actual normal gold does tend to become a little bit pitted on her, and gold plate just disappears, and so you know, that kind of suggests that the skin produces aqua regis acid, which is amazing in a way. I don't know if that's true or whether it's actually something else which gets which eats the gold, because it's not a mechanical wearing, because it gets into some areas that just wouldn't get worn. Three, four, there we go. Maybe I ought to open some of these rings the other way. I'll learn. So that would be the next section. And then one of the silver. One, two, three, 4. That's blue. They're getting themselves mixed up. 3, 3, 4, and I'm going to need some more blue after that. 1, 2, should be back to, well, I expect to be back to doing carving tonight. Some more of the dragon. I've still got a fair way to go on that particular piece. And we may be doing some more of this tomorrow, depending on what I get finished today. I suspect I'll actually finish this bracelet. They don't seem to take that long. That's relatively speaking. Compare how long I'm taking to do this to how long 84 guy takes to do it, and it makes it look like I'm dawdling, which of course I am, because I have not really got much idea what I'm doing. It might look fairly simple, and in principle I guess it is, but there's actually quite a bit of skill involved in doing this, and doing it, certainly doing it with any sort of speed. Okay, so swap the two. Finish off my cold coffee. Right. They don't show up. Particular request was for this, but there's a really subtle difference between these this pale blue, sky blue, and the silver here. I'm not sure it's going to achieve the effect that was requested, but hey, I'm getting the hang of that one. Maybe not. Maybe it may look better. Most things that looks better when you step back from it a little bit. Now then, I just thought I found an easy way of putting this on, and I've already forgotten how it was I did it. Probably something like that. Okay, come back ring through there and then through there. That wasn't too bad. They're not crossed, are they? Yep, they are. There's a twist in that one. Don't want that. There we go. Yep. Yeah, well, I've done it in about an hour. So, sorry, I did this in about 20 minutes. So I've been going an hour and a half now, so and I'm not obviously nowhere near finished, but I'm assuming that includes you doing all the opening and closing all the rings as well, 84 guy. Dear. And picking up the ones that escape and disentangling them from wherever they get involved in. And yeah, that, folks, is the difference in the skill level. Adi there would have completed a bracelet in the time it's taken me to do this much so far. That's one section, two sections of this. I'm actually hoping I have enough rings. No, it wasn't. It wasn't anodized aluminium AD. It was gold plate. It's probably copper gold plated. Is this? And no, they're not cheaper. They're relatively expensive. This is it's from Hobbycraft. Was this gold plate? I just happened to go in there because I wanted a box to put the rings in that I did have. I actually got a bigger one, but this one works better. And yeah, they had some boxes in there, so I went in there, and my wife sort of saw these rings, which are Beads Unlimited stuff, which, as you know, isn't especially in Hobbycraft, isn't the cheapest stuff. And she just went, "Oh, I like that colour, and I like that size, and can't I have that?" And yeah, okay, if you want. So the cheap those cheap gold plated cheap gold plated ones were actually twice as expensive as having beautifully anodized aluminium ones. Why did I just do that? You know what I've forgotten to do, don't you? Yeah, that is where the end is. Okay, that's another one escaped somewhere. Oh, it's there. Yeah, there's two sections. I keep looking out for suppliers, Eddie. If I ever do find any cheap, I'll let you know. What I need to do now is build up my supply of rings. Yeah, the second section of this. But before I do that, I'm going to need some more of these orange. No, they didn't. It was all in their AD. It's all gold plate and silver plate. Nothing. No aluminium stuff at all. Which strikes me as a bit odd, really. I suppose, given that the nice colours that are available in anodized aluminium. Well, you know what it's like, AD, when somebody sees the range of colours, it's kind of like, well, yeah, can't decide what colour they want, so they want some of everything, and so I may end up having to go into some sort of competition with it to feed my wife's habit of wanting these now. Dear. If anybody wants to see AD making chainmail jewellery the right way, then check him out. It's quite often in an afternoon, I think that's afternoon UK time. You stream Chainmail, I believe, and Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday evening, I believe, is when you also Monday and Wednesday. I think you said, didn't you? Monday and Wednesday for streaming Chainmail. Yeah, they're kind of all sorts of nice. I mean, they do have nice sorts of stuff in there, really. In terms of, as you say, pretty beads, and well, they're no good for this, but for cross stitching, there's some really nice glass, silver centered glass tiny beads, which are great for putting onto, using a cross stitch on, and you can get a bead picture, and there's some really beautiful colours in that. Always makes me want to buy them, if nothing else, just to look at the things. Why am I doing... Alright, okay, fair enough. Went in looking for the boxes that I had seen online, and came out with some pyrographic blanks, and for doorknob hangers, and like the do not disturb type signs, or Fed's room or something, and these gold plated rings that she wanted, and dangerous place to go in, really, unless you go in looking for exactly what you want and nothing else. Okay. I will remember that. You know, you embarrass being away, Eddie, because I know occasionally you'll mention on the stream what I do, and you can remember every single craft that I do, and I can't remember your streaming times. and and I kind of watch you during the week and on a Wednesday night as well. Oh dear, old age, you see. Oh god, I was for a minute then I thought I'd done something really weird. Um, well, that's a section of it, I suppose. That doesn't show. These cameras are really red insensitive. I mean, I'm looking at that on stream. These things look gold, and they're orange. They're more brown, I guess, than orange. And yet they look gold on the camera. They're really red insensitive. Makes me wonder whether what I ought to do is put a red filter on top of the lens, just to boost the red output again. Right. Let's see if we can do 6 sections of this. That ring's not closed properly. Now that it's opened up whilst I was doing stuff. That's 2. And yeah, this is the 3rd section. I'm getting the hang of that one. Of course, by the time I want to do this again, I'll have completely forgotten, but I'm beginning to think I maybe ought to open these rings the other way. Might try that soon. Oh, there again. Right, so there's 1, 2, 3, this is 4th section, so I want another 2 of this. So I need some more open rings. And it's beginning to look like I'm going to need to order some more rings before already. I think I'm going to have used all these up. Let's close a few rings. Well, good afternoon anybody who's watching the stream this afternoon. This is just an ad hoc stream. I've just started doing chainmail as a craft. Brand new, well, relatively brand new to it. I've made exactly 4 pieces. This is my 5th, and I'm enjoying doing this immensely. Frustrating a little bit when a ring won't quite go where you want it to go, or won't quite need a little bit of patience in that respect, but at the moment on normal streams, which take place on an evening around about 8 PM UK time, what I'm streaming is carving a dragon, but I do a fair number of different crafts. Carving is just one of them, and pyrography is another. Scraper board, punch craft, and now chainmail. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got some fuse beads to add to the list at some point. I also do a lot of other stuff which I don't stream at the moment, like airbrushing, rotary carving, shallow glass engraving. Why did I do that anyway? Amongst others, I do some rug making. With a couple of different techniques of rug making, latch hook rug making, and a punch method which resembles the way rugs are actually factory made. That one wants closing a bit more. And there we go. And I also do potentially also do a number of needle crafts, cross stitch, tapestry, needle point, just depending on the image that wants to be done. I like trying new things out, which is why I'm trying this. You could say I get bored easily, but that's not actually true. I just like to do a variety of different things. I guess it stops me becoming easily bored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more section I think is what I want for this. Got very specific instructions for this particular bracelet as to the design. That ring isn't closed properly. As these are saw cut rings which are anodized before the cut, you can see when a ring isn't closed properly because you can see the silver edge of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. If you've got your drink by now, 84 guy, these pliers are an amazing difference to the ones I was using before. Even with the spring removed on the other ones, there's no comparison to this. Nailing. I need to check the length of this. Yeah, so we'll go to the blue. We'll go back to the sequence now. So I'll go blue, white, blue.
Can I just worry for 3 minutes? It's knocking the fence down, is it, Brown?
Excuse me, guys. Just for the moment, I just need to go attend to something. I will be back shortly. I won't bother putting a BRB screen. I'll just mute the mic. I'll be back in a couple of moments. Right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that delay. Um, Emergency gardening work. It's really windy here in the UK, and we had a tree that was pushing a fence over basically. I needed to sort that out. Now then, so 6, so we go back onto the blue again now. So 2 sections of blue, and then 2 sections, sorry, one section of the silver and a section of the 2 sections of the blue again. Hmm. Close some of this blue up. I wish it was possible to get rings such that they didn't join themselves together. That's one of the really frustrating parts about this, is having to sort of unjumble them all. Right, let's do this. I keep wondering if there's a way of a tray or some sort of mechanical thing that would hold rings in such a way that they were ready for you just to pick up. Yeah. So they held them just at the right angle. I know you could put them on, potentially get a little tray or something and put them in like that, but that's one heck of a lot of work. It would be nice if you could just, I don't know, apply like a vibration motor to a specially designed tray or something, and just have all the rings magically align themselves in the correct at the correct angles that you needed them to be at. It would make some of this a heck of a lot easier. Of course, I don't think such a thing is possible, but it's nice to dream. one section. I thought I'd done more open rings than that. than that. Okay, let's do a little bit more on this then. So through there and through those two rings. Of course, I've made exactly the same mistake as I keep making, and I've made all through the stream so far, and that is putting the rings that I'm working with right in front of where the chain dangles down. So of course keep knocking them and sending them scattered all over the place, but and I haven't done that. I need some silver rings. Switch pliers for that. Okay. Cat hairs get everywhere, including in the jewellery. There we go. What have I done there? Something completely silly. Too many rings. Don't know if I wasn't concentrating or what, but that's better. That's the right number of rings. And then that's the silver done. Now we swap back to the blue again. And I'm going to need some more open rings on the blue as well. Dear, one of these days I'll work out how to count these, exactly how many I need, and we'll go from there. And I've just noticed one of those rings isn't properly closed. Just tweak that a little bit, there we go. So that's one section of blue, but I need at least another couple of open rings. There's two sections of blue, so that's, yeah, should have enough blue rings done now. Yeah. I'm getting so I don't even trust my own counting these days at the moment with this. Okay, and 2 rings, not 4, like I did the other time. One. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the orange. So let's just complete this section, Byzantine section, by putting a couple of the orange rings on. And then we'll need to open some more orange rings. I'm hoping I have enough to finish. It's amazing how many rings you get through. Yes, I think I need 6 sections. So there's 1, 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know. Let's just open and close some and we'll see. We'll either have enough or we won't, but I'm hoping there will be just enough, or at least enough to fiddle it, shall we say. Because I'll need to, the clasps has to go on the end of it. I'm actually not quite sure. I guess it's going to have to be a, Could do with being a rose gold clasp. So what I may have to do at some point is put a gold one on for now and buy some rose gold clasps and swap it out. What I'll do is I'll actually probably get some rolled or filled gold clasps. That way then they won't tarnish at all. And my wife's unique skin chemistry will not destroy them either. I have no idea if I need that, so I've opened it, I shall leave it open. We'll close that one and we'll see how many we need. Right, so one section. Probably need another 30 rings, so I don't know if there's 30 on the table. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, no, there's 21. So I am going to be short by the looks of it. So I'm definitely going to need to be ordering some more rings on Monday. Either way, I'll have used this colour up, so I'll want to get some more to replace it anyway. That's not quite closed properly. There we go. If you hear that crunch occasionally when I'm closing these rings up, that is just the two ends of the rings snapping past each other, which means that they've been closely aligned, which is what you want them to be. You don't really want the gap to be visible between the ends of the rings. That way they look like fully closed rings. And you get other people then wondering how on earth the bracelet was made, because they can't see the ends of the rings. 1, 2, 3 sections. This is the 4th section. So I'm going to need one of these open. Now then, I'm not going to have enough rings to do the final section. So we'll just measure it and see if we actually need to add another section. It'll be nice if I don't. Okay, let me measure it against this other one, which I know fits it. No, that's quite a bit short. It is, unfortunately, not quite. I'm exactly 2 sections short. That's a real pity. Well, just for the moment, what I'm going to do is... I have a gold ring around here somewhere. Alright, I had a gold ring around here somewhere. There it is. I'm just going to do is form this last Byzantine section, and then just put this gold ring through, just to hold it in place. There we go. That just makes it look neat, but it's I'm a section short on this side to balance it out, because it wanted to be 8.5 inches. Did this? It's only 8 inches now. I am 3 rings short, so that's, you know, just life, shall we say. But it's almost finished. So we've done a double chain, a 2 in 1 chain, or 2 in 2 chain on this string. Nice and quick, easy to do. That one, that's done using gold plated copper, I think it is, machine cut. So not necessarily the best of the rings, but this is a you know, a nice quality aluminium, anodized aluminium, saw cut rings, so they close up really nicely. Done using a Greek cat's eye design, so there's blue, white and blue, which is odd because I thought the Greek cat's eye was white, blue, white, but that's what I was asked for in here, blue, white, blue. A little bit short on this side by at least 1 section of the Byzantine. That then probably, if I were to use one of these clasps, for example, if I had an extra section in the end of there, I might need a couple of gold, say gold, because I think that suits it better, gold rings, just to fill in the extra length. But I could potentially cheat at this stage and just add gold rings, I suppose, this being a little bit short, but it'd be nice to make it match the other side. And I can see a ring that hasn't closed properly. which is just there. There we go. So I'll get some more of this orange since I'm out of it now anyway, and we'll do another section to this, and then the gold rings just to make the length up, which will be more than okay on this, I think. Anyway, excuse me, I'm going to get a drink, I'm going to get some food, get ready for my carving stream this evening. So if anybody would like to see some carving of a dragon, that's wood carving, by the way, and that's what we're working on. Is this relief carving of a dragon? Then you're quite welcome to join the stream again this evening. It'll be in 2 hours' time, almost exactly 2 hours' time. Well, I might start a bit early, but let's say 2 hours' time, 8 p.m. UK Standard Time, which is when I start streaming normally. If you'd like to be notified, of course, please follow me. That would be very much appreciated. And you can also follow me on Twitter as well if you like, at Zaraganar, but the details are below the stream window. I'm not a prolific tweeter, so certainly at the moment, you're not going to be inundated with me telling you I've just had a sandwich or I've just found my pencil or something like that, so don't worry about that. But otherwise, as I say, I do stream every evening. I want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching, and I'll see you in a little while. Good night.